before the starting gun, before the records fall, before the world turns its eyes to the water, there's a silence. In this quiet, they train, they dream, they break. Every ripple in the pool is a decision. Every breath, a battle. For these athletes, this isn't just another competition. It's everything they've built toward, day by day, stroke by stroke. And for the first time, the world stage is set in Singapore.
What first got you into swimming? Was there a moment or person that really motivated you to start?
We first got into swimming actually because of my older brother Ben. He's 30 right now, but he started swimming because he went to a school gala with our high school St. Pat's, and yeah, he just loved it. He loved the competition. First ever time having a racing or training, and then my parents were like, we should try it, right? Yeah. And I would say our childhood idols, we'll go into that. My childhood idol was Mitch Larkin, who we actually met in one of our past vlogs, which is pretty cool.
Do you remember your very first competition? What stands out about it now?
The first competition I remember actually is a great one. We both were swimming the 1500, and it actually went in the newspaper because Nathan beat me. I actually fell in early, and then Nathan fell in straight after me, and only the first person who falls in gets DQ'd. So I got disqualified, and Nathan got to swim the 1500, and it wasn't fun for me. I had to watch from the side.
Was there ever a point growing up when you thought, this could be my life?
I don't know. I think that was only mostly recent that we thought it would be our life, as in because Dan only really started getting good in 2021-ish. And then I'm still getting there. So I feel like I'd still say it's not going to be our whole life swimming, but it's going to be a majority of it.
How would you describe each other's journey into swimming? Well, what was different?
I describe Nathan's journey as I would say quite hard, to be honest. I always found that Nathan's had 10 different coaches, because Nathan was in the bottom squad when we joined Loughborough, and so every time the coach would change every year, so it was always hard for Nathan to get I feel like a consistent block, where I was lucky to have Andy my whole way through swimming in Loughborough. What would you say about mine? I would say yours was I would call it quick. That's what I would say. He dropped a load of time quickly, and then kind of went into the limelight quickly. So I would say you've had a very quick, but you've worked very hard to get there. Yeah.
Hey. Good to see you. Come on in, let's go. Yeah! Let's go! All right.
We've just arrived at the pool, and we're going to go for our pre-pool routine. Basically, it starts off with 10 minutes of massage gunning, and then we go into a band routine.
Instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit, me get up. First shot, pimp strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Bad moonwalking, and this here is our party.
How often do you train in the evening?
We train 4 times in the evening on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and we train 6 mornings.
Would you prefer the evening or the morning?
The morning, it gets out of the way. That's what I would say.
With my style, money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds, but I do that.
Right now I'm doing some external rotations. Basically it's the go-to swimmer exercise before the pool, because you need to warm your shoulders up, because we do 8K sessions. Tonight I think it's only 6, maybe a bit less, but normally you put your shoulders under a lot of stress.
Can't tell me nothing, we give that to the people, spread it across the country.
I put goggles before hat. I just think it's a lot easier because you don't slip off when you're swimming so fast like me.
What do you do?
I go hat under goggles. No, yeah, hat over. Goggles under hat. Goggles under hat.
The ceiling can't hold us, like the ceiling can't hold us. Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up, like the ceiling can't hold us, like the ceiling can't hold us.
We got a float for the first item. I kick forward. Sorry, don't call it a float. No know why I said that. Then next, my favourite piece of equipment is my pool buoy. It has all my lists of achievements on it. We have a snorkel, my favourite snorkel. I love the blue. The most essential piece to a kick bag is the fins. And then we have paddles, different types, and then we have a parachute.
Nice.
And that's my kit bag.
This is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. I got my city right behind me. If I fall.
For anybody listening, we actually shouldn't be at this session. This is an extra session for us. So but we decided to turn up because we're that dedicated.
We have got 600 is 200 swim, 100 kick twice through, and then I'll get the rest on the board for you.
Pete, everybody, he's the best coach in the world.
Tonight is the night, we'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
So we put our hands up.
The set is up. So we just done the 600 start of the warm-up. We have a 400 right now where we go more basically free back kick kind of stuff, and then 850s where we got some like drills and kick and stuff like that. A bit of descend work today, so.
And all my people say,
We've just started the main set we've got 4 ones descend right now. We just did a 200 descend. Me versus Nathan as well is happening on these 100s, so let's get into them.
Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Go back. This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over.
Right, so I won the rep, as always, and we're starting this next part, a bit of aerobic kind of set. We've got 2K left, and it's like a 300s, 100s, 100s, kind of just chill. Going with that. How good does Nathan look right now, by the way? For you? Talking about Irish trials, we just came back from there. I'm pre-qualified for World Champs, so Nathan just missed it. But Nathan's preparing for the 10K European Cup, aren't you, Nathan? Yeah. But carry on with the set.
Shrink, but now I'm insecure, and I care what people think. My name's blurry face, and I care what you think.
So we've just about to finish the session. We have 200 meters left. We're going to do some easy swimming, and that was it for the session.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
Can you walk us through your experience at the Olympics, Worlds, and European Championships, and what surprised you most?
So we'll start with the Europeans. We'll take the 800 meters world record. Surprised me the most is how small the venue was. I think walking out into a small venue means, and there's like quite a big crowd, you actually hear the noise a lot more, and then it kind of makes the atmosphere a lot bigger, and then when you're swimming you can actually hear it, and then it pushes you on. Worlds is obviously a massive venue. It was in Doha, and I actually think the stands weren't even half full, so it wasn't as special, but obviously it was my first World Championship, so then it was like amazing. And I said the weirdest thing about that was probably the call rooms. They were quite big and they had drums above them, so when you're in the call rooms you could hear this like drums like Jumanji going on, and then it's like it was like a bit crazy and you get your nerves up. And then Olympics, obviously it's like the biggest stage in sport, and it was like the craziest like event I've ever been to in terms of like media, in terms of like just the swimming that was happening, and then for me a lot of pressure on me to perform. I put on myself to win, and then obviously that's my favourite career win out of anything that I've done.
Were there moments during those events where things didn't go to plan? How did you handle them?
Europeans is a great example on something that didn't go to plan. Before I broke the world record, I had food poisoning the night before, So I got 2 hours of sleep before I went and broke that world record. Yeah, it was a bit crazy. Me and Nathan share a room when we go on camps away or competitions away with Ireland. And I was ringing the doctor at like 2 a.m. because I was just throwing up everywhere, and then they came, rescued me, gave me some electrolytes, and then I went to bed for 2 hours, woke up, did a morning swim, and then went back to bed for like another 3 hours, and then went and smashed out the world record.
What did you eat that gave you food poisoning?
I don't know. I still today don't know what it was. I don't think there was any specific food. Maybe something I just ate that upset my stomach.
Looking back, how did those experiences change how you think about swimming or yourselves?
Yeah, obviously, we're just post-Olympics now, about 6 months to 8 months on, and I mean, like my swimming, I've obviously won everything that I wanted to win. I've still got other goals that we'll talk about in other episodes, but for me, like swimming's, I guess, a lot more fun. I've done what I came to do in the sport. I've won everything. Now I'm swimming for myself, swimming for new goals, swimming for like just fun and enjoyment.
What conversations are happening right now around the upcoming World Championships in the summer?
I mean, we just come up on national championships, so we've just posted some fast times to #1 times in the world. And now we're talking about basically what's going to happen at Worlds. Obviously, we're aiming for 3 gold medals in the 400, 800 and 1500. That would be the dream. I want to come away with at least 2 as the minimum, because obviously I'm already a 2-time world championship medalist or gold medalist from last year. So that's the goal, to come away with 3 golds, minimum 2.
When you sit down and map out your goals, what are the biggest priorities?
For me, I probably go on like goal, especially into a world championships. I'm aiming for like the top podium. I have obviously another set of goals on times, but to be honest, for me, times don't matter too much at a world champs. I just think about getting my hand on the wall. I obviously would love a world record at the same point as winning a world champs, but I mean, that's only if the race is going to be fast. I'm just going to do the race to win the race.
What does success at the World Championships look like for you personally?
As I think the successful worlds will be coming away with at least 2 gold medals. Honestly, I'd be happy with 1 gold medal. Apparently it's pretty hard to win a worlds after winning the Olympics, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to get it. That's it.
What are the specific things you're changing or refining to reach your goals?
This year especially, I've changed a lot since the previous 4 years into the Olympics. I think a lot of the time I just kind of let my coach do all the decisions, and this year especially I've taken a lot more ownership in my swimming, and I'm doing a lot more of what I want to do, not just listen to my coach as Bible. You know, like I want to do what I want to do, and I'll make sure it's more enjoyable for me. So I actually think this season I've done a lot less training in terms of, because I took a long break after Olympics, but I'm actually faster for it.
How do you break down your race schedule and plan around it?
Race, I have a set timeline. I think every coach kind of drives us into the swimmers when they're younger. You set out a timeline. I have mine on my phone, and it's basically written down of what's going to happen on the day of the race. But in terms of a whole competition, we have like meetings throughout the upcoming of what happens and what we need to do in certain days, and then we have a plan to follow in terms of what sessions to attend, how much to do in each session, what the session looks like. So it's all a lot of planning in terms of what this event comes to. You just see me swimming down the pool, but really it's like months of planning of what goes into World Championships.
Is there a piece of technical feedback or data that shifted how you approach your races?
A lot. When I'm looking at races or looking back on races to learn for a next one, we always get race analysis from Ireland. When I'm looking at majority of the time is my splits and my 5 in, 10 out of walls on turns. They're like basically I want my turns to get faster every time I race, and if I see a backwards shift on the turns, 5 in, 5 out times, then I look at the race footage to see what I've done wrong and make sure I improve for the next time.
Nathan, what drew you to open water swimming, and what's the difference in how you prepare?
So what drew me to open water swimming was that I believe I would be better at it than a normal race, because I'm better towards longer distance. In terms of the 1500, Daniel would be better at the 800, and as we do longer reps in swimming, like we do 2Ks, 3Ks straight in training, I seem to get the gap between me and Daniel would get more, it would be more even on those reps. And I was like, oh, why not go try it? 10K. It's a bit of a long race, but we'll see what happens.
What makes a great open water swim? And how do you mentally prepare for that unpredictability?
What makes a good open water race is obviously winning and touching that pad at the end, and preparation and making it the mental side of it is I think I would go into it and map out the whole map of the 2K, 3K circuit it would be. I would make sure, maybe like an F1 driver, and figure out the turns in my head and maybe look at the currents of what every way is going. So that's maybe how I would prepare for the race. And mentally, it's just being resilient and like making sure you give it your all, and last 800 of that race, you're going all out.
What are your goals for the British Summer Championships, and how are you building towards them?
My goals for the Irish Summer Champs are to beat the FINA A cut in both the 400, 800 and 1500. And how I'll be building up to it is we are doing an open water race in June where I'm doing a 10K, but before that we're going to altitude for 3 weeks and we're going to go high meterage, high volume, high intensity. That's how we're going to build to it to get those records.
How does your training now reflect the demands of both pool and open water events?
Training wise, the meters will go up, and I reckon the intensity might be slightly different. It'll be maybe more threshold based instead of heart rate based. But for the open water, it's going to be more of me just going at it and grit, and training that's really just racing everybody in the pool the same way as what we were doing normally. So that's how we'll prepare for it.
Are there moments during long sets where you want to stop? If so, what pushes you to keep going?
What makes me keep going is, we have the training partners. You don't want to show yourself up in front of your brother or your training partner, or get out because they don't feel it today. And most of the time on the long reps, we're kind of chilling out anyway, more like you're not as focused, so it actually goes by really quick. Like we do 2-hour sessions and it feels like you've been there for half an hour. So I don't really struggle too much on that side. But if I watch some days I do feel it, I normally just think, what's my competitor doing? And the only way I think I can beat him is staying in and giving him my best shot.
How important is mindset in endurance training? And how do you train that, not just your body?
Mindset in endurance racing is pretty much key. I think it's probably 70% of the race is mindset, and 30% is really just aerobic system and how good your genetics are, I'd say. Mindset wise, it's really because 10K, hour 45, hour 50, maybe 2 hours, hopefully not. It can be quite grueling, and also on the physical, but the mental side I would say more, because you're kind of doing the same circuit. It could be up to 6 times, and going the same thing over and over again, and every lap's different, I guess. So you can have maybe somebody who's come from behind you, or somebody who drops back, and you got to watch out. Maybe you got to watch people trying to hit you in the face, stuff like that. So yeah, that's really what I would say is the difference.
Are you going to do any specific training to be race ready for open water?
I don't think I'll be doing. It depends if it warms up the water around Loughborough, but I think most of the time it'll be altitude. We'll be wearing we'll maybe do a 10K set where we'll wear an open water suit, stuff similar to what Daniel did for Paris in the River Seine, and maybe try different recovery strategies around that, and while we're actually training, maybe try downing some water and stuff like that.
What is it like training and living together? Are there unspoken rules or daily routines?
Yeah, I mean, we've never not lived together, you know, like we always have done stuff together. We rarely ever separate, which is, I mean, it's great. You've always got somebody beside you and you're never lonely. But any unspoken rules? I don't think so. We try not, we have an unspoken rule: if we ever fight, we're not allowed to hit each other in the face, the money maker.
Do you push each other more as brothers or as competitors?
Brothers,
Yeah.
I think the great thing about being like twins, and then obviously training at a high level together and swimming and doing the same event, is that we can push each other in different ways, like mentally. Nathan can say stuff that gets under my skin that nobody else can, and I can do the exact same to him.
How do you balance being supportive with being brutally honest when needed?
I'd say support. You're not normally brutally honest if you have a bad swim. Daniel is probably, but Normally, if you have a bad, maybe not. Actually, I'd say we are brutally honest. I remember when you came third at the Olympics, nobody was happy. Yeah. Yeah, we're like pretty honest with each other. Like we'll tell each other if we think it's like we're not going to be shit or not. To be honest, yeah. We're not going to be fake nicey to each other. Yeah.
What's something the audience wouldn't expect about your relationship?
We actually have only been apart. What is it? 3 months. It's the
3 months.
longest we've been
the
apart.
longest we've ever been apart.
Can you share a moment recent or from childhood that really shows your bond?
What you said about Paris.
Oh yeah, so when we were in Paris, this isn't really from childhood, but recently, I walked out for my age final and the only voice I heard was Nathan's voice walking out, so, I mean, that's pretty special.
And then childhood, not in swimming, we used to climb into each other's
like cribs when we were younger, like, so my mum would have like the baby camera, and like she'd always see me and Nathan one of us climbing over to the other person's crib because we couldn't be separated.
In what ways are you completely different in how you approach the sport of swimming?
I would say I would call myself the scientist. I read up a lot on everything. Not so much swimming anymore, but more psychological. That's what I would say I read up on more. And I go a more psychological approach. I know more, but Daniel's better at executing it than I am.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get executioner. That's what you are.
I'm the executioner.
How do your personalities complement each other in and out of training?
Yeah, like Nathan's typically a lot quieter than me, but I only think he's a lot quieter than me because I have to do a lot of like talks and stuff like that. So I feel like
the funny one.
Yeah, Nathan is the funny one.
The quiet funny one.
The quiet funny one, and I'm the loud boring one.